All right, welcome back. So to give us an insight into what could be going on with some of these things and what possible solutions can there be to address all of those challenges and more this morning, we've got Alhaji Mujahid-Dokubo Asari joining us here in the studio. He's the Alabo Ediabali of the Kingdom of Kalabari, the former president, Ijaw Youth Council, leader, Niger Delta People's Salvation Front, and Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning, my brother.
Well, this challenge that the country faces, time and again, we're looking for solutions from almost all over the place. But give us an insight, because, I mean, you do know a lot about what's happening. What could be going on? Why is this consistently happening, this crude oil theft?
A lot of people justify the activities of these criminals on the plight of the people of the Niger Delta. Now, they try to justify that the resources belong to us, which is true, and that we have the right to have access to these resources, which is also true. But a group of people, an infinitesimal percentage of the people, with people from outside the Niger Delta, go into alliance, become business partners, and they steal these resources. And in stealing these resources, they inflict environmental genocide on the people. They inflict economic genocide on the people, because the mainstay, I am an Ijaw man, I'm from Obuama, I'm from Kalabari. Now, the mainstay of the economy of Ijaw people is fishing. The discharges from their illegal activity, whether it is taken with tankers outside, or whether it is what they call fire Artisan refinery, the discharges that they discharge does not meet international standard in the oil industry. So they discharge all the residue, everything, into the sea. And this affects the marine life, kill everything. Our people can no longer fish. They are not up to 1% of the population.
People who they go into business partnership with?
Yes, no. The people from the region, okay, who are now funded, in most cases, they are funded by outsiders. The people who bring these big tankers are not Niger Deltans. If they are Niger Deltas, there will be so few. Maybe those who have access to government and government money. Because to get a tanker from here to Togo or Ghana or Cote d'Ivoire, because this is where most of the stolen oil is sold, the government knows about this thing. You need close to $1 to $2 million US.
To get a tanker,
yes,
to steal some of this.
Yes, that you see, there's a mother vessel. The mother vessel anchors outside Nigerian territorial waters. Then there's a feeder vessel. This one, 2,000 tons, 3,000 tons, flat bottom, or so on. So as to go into the creeks, get this thing, and they bring it, they shuttle. And to fill, most of these tankers take up to 1 month.
1 month to finish one operation?
Yes. Wow. 2,000 tons is loaded. 2,000, the highest that can go into the creek, a flat bottom vessel can go in, is 3,000 tons. 3,000 tons is bigger than this, your channel television house. Barge, self-propelled barge. So they go to fetch from the manifold or now they fetch directly from wellhead. This is where the mega money is. This is where the mega money is. They now take these shuttle vessel to the mother vessel, which will be like 1 million barrel. So calculate 2,000. So if they have 2, 3, 4 people from Ijaw people from the Niger Delta, because majority of the low-level involvement are Ijaw people, are my own Ijaw people. So they now load. Where is the security? Where is the Navy?
Because that's natural
No,
custom.
we're coming. Where is the Navy? Where is the customs? Where is NIMASA? These are questions people should be able to ask. This does not concern NNPC now, because we always play this blame game. Is NNPC, is this one? No. This one does not concern the one that takes place at the discharging point, which is the terminal.
Which agency is supposed to take care of that discharging point at the terminal?
At the discharging point, there are so many agencies. Military intelligence is there. NNPC, different department of NNPC are there. NIMASA is there. They are that discharge point. But we are now talking of the one that is outside official stealing of these resources. Koro thief, night and the thief. Now, this vessel, 2,000, 3,000, say they have 3 shuttle vessels. These 3 shuttle vessels go from these manifolds or wellheads and discharges outside Nigerian territorial waters in the night. They start maybe around 8 a.m., 8 p.m. And by 2, they finish loading. Then they go to they go outside the territorial waters and they discharge. So now calculate, if it is a 1 million barrel tanker, it's a 500,000 barrel tanker. Calculate how many days, how many weeks, how many months it will take to fill a super tanker like that. So in all this, during all this period, are we pretending that the security is not there? Are we pretending the Navy is not there? NIMASA is not there?
So clearly, these security agencies know something. Very
yes,
clearly.
Definitely they do. We should not be doing hide and seek as if this thing is rocket science, we don't know what is happening. They do. Now, I cannot say much at what happened in official, at Focados, at Escravos, at Bonny Terminal, at Ibom Terminal. I cannot say. Because I don't work in an NPC. But we know that racketeering is going on there.
In those terminals too.
Yes, now we have seen it now. Well, we have seen the instruction point, the joint and everything. We are seeing them.
Can these things happen without collusion from insiders in NNPC?
How can that happen without collusion? How will that happen? Without people colluding with them. That's why the GMD of NNPC said his life is in danger. That's why he said his life is in danger. The life of everybody who comes out to confront them is in danger. It's people like us that are gra people that they can't do us anything. We said this, you can't do us anything. You know, if you are dead, are you not afraid of dying? The same way you are afraid of dying, that's the same way I'm afraid of dying. So if you think you are going to come and get me, oh, sorry for you. Because definitely, if you pull the trigger first, maybe you get me. But if you fail, That's it. So those people, those big men like GMD and NNPC and so on, these things are happening. They say my life is in danger. Yes, it's true. Look, you make more money from stealing oil than going into drugs. So why? You do nothing. They just load. Then you come to the Artisan refinery. They call fire. They cook this product. They try to, in a very crude way, they try to refine this product. After refining this product, these petrol tankers, vehicles that come, are they eating? Are they eating? Are they not plying the road? When they carry their cargo, do they hide them? No. And there you have IG monitoring team on the road. You have civil defense on the road. You have regular police on the road. You have army checkpoints on the road. Are they not seeing these people?
So that decision that the NNPC took to award this contract to protect the pipelines and stop this to government Ekpemukpolo, how do you perceive it? Is it going to work?
It is the will. For instance, when government came out with this policy of changing the naira, it triggers a fall in the value of foreign currency for a few days, not up to a week. But all of a sudden, the will to pursue it to the end was not there. And the naira started declining again. There must be the will because the people are suffering. The will to sustain it is what we are talking about. It's not who the contract is given to. Contract is given to Captain Osa's company, late Captain Osa's company, and the company of government Ekpemukpolo. It's not about who you give the contract to. The people in NNPC must have the will. From what had transpired so far, from what I see, because me, I say things very raw. You might not like the way I express myself. I say my truth. It's kokolo. I say it very raw. From what the GM has done, even if they didn't give me, I am entitled to it. But what the GMD has done, going and exposing this thing, whatever it is what, is a pointer that something different is happening now. It's a pointer that something different is happening now. These things have been existing over the years. And nobody bothered. Everybody knows it. I know it. Tompolo knows it. The people in NNPC know that these pipes are connected and they're like sucking blood, they're leeches, they're sucking the blood of the people. Everybody knows it. So if the GMD now came out for the first time, they call him chief executive, now came out courageously to go and these things are getting exposed, we must say that something different is now happening. So it's not about, yes, I disagreed. When Tompolo was giving the contract, I thought it was wrong. You can't give where I come from to somebody else. I know the place better than he knows it. But I am an Ijaw man. The Ijaw nation intervened. Yes, please. This is not why we should quarrel. Since this government came, we have survived. I didn't die. So why would you quarrel with your brother because of this?
Are you working together now?
Yes, we are. We talk. We talk. Last Sunday, we spoke. We are supposed to talk on Tuesday because Asari-Dokubo was to meet him. We talk. Even though I'm not part of it, we talk. He seeks my advice. And I give him freely because See, the John Nation is greater than all of us. Whatever I am today, it is the John Nation that made me by the grace of God. So I cannot, John Nation gave me a platform to become president of Ijaw Youth Council.
When you say there has to be will from the NNPC to stop this, so one wonders, having awarded the contract, is it that the GMD of NNPCL will give a contract and then people within the same NNPC will sabotage it?
But this contract has been they've been awarding this contract from time immemorial.
But you said this one is different. You said something different is happening.
Yes, because the GMD himself or NNPC top shots, I see Bala Uti, I know him. I see all those people. I see them on television right at the spot where these things are happening. The scene of this theft. They go there. This had never happened. And the discovery that has taken place and had been exposed had never happened. This is the first time in the history of this country that this sort of thing is happening. So there is something, when you see something different, you should appreciate it and say, this is different from what we look. When Good Luck was there, we were giving. River State was given to myself, Ateke Tom, Asari-Dokubo, and Soboma Jack Resetberry Papa. We had a company, a joint company, Adeft. And we tried to make sure. And oil theft reduced to almost zero. But this commitment that is going on now was not there. We didn't see an NPC officials coming to go and participate, to see, to reveal these things. So whatever we did was something. And then we worked for only 1 year and the contract was cancelled.
Why?
Suspended for no reason. For no reason. Towards the election, it was given, it was for 3 months. They didn't pay us. It was Buhari who came. And I continue consistently. Everybody was afraid. I took lawyers who consistently wrote. And they gave us 30% of the value of our contract. 70%, the lawyer, whatever happened, they took it. But what I'm trying to say is this. As at this moment, see, they bring Israelis. They go, Israelis, they're going to fly drones, they're going to rubbish. They were not doing anything. They have a control room, rubbish. They were just collecting the money and we are doing nothing. This money we are talking is billions. Now, it is good that you gave it to the people from the area, the people who are impacted by the activities of these thieves, whose activity does not mean standard international practice. So there are spillages, there are destruction, there are devastation of the environment. Now, these people, you give it to. Maybe some of them are even bunkers. They're involved in bunkering. And because what you are offering them is more than what they will get in bunkering, they will stop with the bunkering.
So does this mean that it will be difficult to prosecute anybody because of the kinds of people that are involved in this crime?
Why? When Buhari first came in with Idiagbo, several people were prosecuted. They went to prison. It's the will we are talking about. During Buhari Idiagbo, several people were prosecuted. Some people, I know an Alhaji in Port Harcourt that was in detention and got blind. He came out blind. And at that time, it was not this sort of magnitude that we are looking at. Look, you are just showing the pipeline with the insertion and the connection. You have not seen the environment, what this has done to the environment. Even the multinational oil firm did not do as much damage to the environment as we have done with our own hand.
How about the cleanup that is going on now?
The cleanup is the most crooked the most roguish program that had ever been brought. How can you say you are cleaning Ologoni land? Is it Ologoni land that is affected? And we are all watching. And when you talk, Ogoni people will attack you. So we don't have the right to talk. Go to Owaza in Imo State, Abia State, and see what is happening there. You will cry. Go to Oazi Ebema, go to Guta, and see what is happening in Zombe, and all those places, and see what is happening. You will weep. About 100 and something people were killed. They said about 40 people. Is a lie. More than almost 200 people, because I was there. I was there. I have the facts. Go to Cotton Channel. Go to Bile and see what is happening. Go to K.
Well, just before I hand to my colleagues in Lagos and switch to another matter, I mean, lots of people just wondering, when you say that security agencies, NEMASA, customs and several agencies know about this, they're complicit in this matter. But when, in addition to that, you also say some of your kinsmen at the lower level are also collaborating with some of these people. So would you support all those involved be arrested and prosecuted no matter whose ox is God?
Absolutely. Because the crime they are committing is going to take generations to correct. We're not going to play with them with kid gloves. Because you want to make money, you want to kill thousands of people, you want to impoverish the whole population, change the demography, change the livelihood of the people. As an Ijaw man, there is no land for me to farm. There is no land for me to do anything. I'm a fisherman. So you want to change me from centuries, from time immemorial when we cannot remember. We have been fishermen. You want to change all that. Because of your greed, because of the small money you are going to get. Why the bulk of the money is made by people who are just giving you peanuts.
Let me bring my colleagues from Lagos. They've got questions for you as well. Go ahead, guys.
All right. Thank you, Chamberlain. I just want to maybe widen this, really. The challenge of oil thefts in the Niger Delta region, perhaps beyond, is it primarily a security challenge, lack of security and all that, or it's a humanitarian challenge, lack of humanitarian well-being, welfare, well-being for the people, such that these activities thrive? I mean, because naturally, if people are not well taken care of, if the environment is being impacted harmfully, they'll look for other means to make up for this. So is this a lack of security? So we'll know where to really focus on. Is it lack of security or the welfare aspect and the environmental issues in the Niger Delta?
My brother, thank you. Security is number one. That is on the side of the government of the Nigerian state. Security is number one. The security is compromised. See, most of the bunkering places, you see Nigerian army houseboat fitted with all the guns. Sometimes it is funny when I hear people say that the Nigerian army is not properly equipped. It's a lie. They have everything. They are there. Speedboats, gunboats, drones, everything. Nigerian army, they are there. This is the houseboat. This is one bunkering point there. That is the truth of the matter. That is security. When these ships are packed for 1 month and are taking the feeder vessels to go and feed them, the mother vessel, the Navy cannot see them. We don't have satellites that can capture these things. Are they ants? These are bigger than your studio, bigger than the whole of this building. these self-propelled badges. So that's it. The other one, if we are going to justify that people have the right to resort to self-help, since you don't give us, we go take on our own. So if the people are properly treated, they are treated well, would they do this? And the question is, what is the quantum of the population of the people engaged in this crime against their own self and their people? What is the quantum of the people? The percentage. They are not up to 1%. So 1% should destroy, we are suffering deprivation. 1% now had to further deprivation, commit environmental and economic genocide against us, change the demography, do all sorts of things, change the topography, everything. So what we are saying, they are twins.
Right.
These two factors, the local factor, which the government must improve. The government had NDDC to shut the mouth of the people, shut those of us who have been shouting, so we give you NDDC. We have brought NDDC. How has the NDDC fared? Since this government came into power,
and I wonder,
NDDC from one acting to one, this one sole administrator to this.
You know, speaking of the NDDC, I wonder how you received the new proposed leadership of the NDDC to be headed by, at least to be chaired by Loretta Onoche.
The chairman does not have executive powers. The powers is in the hands of the MD. The MD is one of us. He was publicity secretary of IYC in the Central Zone. He's one of us. This is the first time an hardcore person from the trenches who knows the pains of the people had been appointed, had been chosen, nominated to head NDDC.
Okay, Asari-Dokubo, sorry, there are lots of issues to raise, really, because it will be important to get at least your own wealth of experience on this. And I just remembered that a few days ago, the president inaugurated the Kolmani project. It's possibly holding, what, 1 billion barrels of oil, 500 billion cubic feet of gas. And for some people, it was something to celebrate. And I wonder how you're receiving that one, because they say it's different from what we've seen in the past. But there are fears, again, that this will not end the way the Niger Delta region is going right now. So how did you receive that, the Kolmani project, which was just inaugurated?
We thank God for it. I'm so happy, I'm so elated that something has happened. So if the laws will be changed, because oil has now been discovered somewhere else, somewhere away from the Niger Delta, so the laws will be changed, the whole world will see. The same laws that were operating in the Niger Delta that took the land and resources of the people. Now you go somewhere, you want to change the law. That is where grievances will start. People will agitate. So if the same laws that had been made over these years, from which the resources that produce Azigboro, that produce Ken Saro-Wiwa, that produce me and others, who said this thing is wrong, now God has turned it round. We want to see the laws that will be made to govern the business of extracting oil from Bauchi and Gombe.
Okay. Well,
we want to see it.
Okay. I guess we'll wait
then
indeed.
If that happens, we will be free to demand for reparation.
Well, we'll wait, I guess.
We'll be free to demand for reparation.
Yeah. But let me ask you this, and perhaps by way of, as a Nigerian, a patriotic Nigerian that you are, lessons that must be learned and that must not be repeated anywhere else where Nigeria would discover oil. But speak specifically to the welfare of the people
And I know that you and generations of Niger Delta leaders have been very, very passionate and concerned about that. And that's how we've come to where we are now. In your opinion, what are those things that you think the federal government must do now to make life better for the greatly impoverished people of the Niger Delta who, as you said, have been unable to do what they are used to, which is fish farming, among other things? What are the lessons that we have learned from this and which must not be repeated in Kolmani? And in what way do you think government should, as a matter of justice and fairness, compensate the people beside the cleanup that you talked about earlier?
For me, is the will. We are always talking about the will. We have NDDC. How has NDDC fared? Has NDDC been allowed to operate within the laws that set her up? Has NDDC been allowed? For a very long time, NDDC was doing something, was illegal. Illegal institutions were appointed. Even now, the appointment into the boards, they didn't meet the laws that set up NDDC. That is number one. Ministry of Niger Delta was set up. What is Ministry of Niger Delta doing? Is Ministry of Niger Delta properly funded? Is it adequately funded? And the funds, when released to the ministry, does it go down to the people? Do the people feel the effect of the funds in the hands of Minister of Niger Delta? The Amnesty program, has it operated well for those who they claim collected amnesty? Are the funds and everything reaching the people? Are the people trained? Who are the people who are trained? Where are they? Where are they engaged? Where are they working? Where are the skills? Why should one set of people be selected in Niger Delta? Because they carried guns. I also carried gun. I chose not to take the amnesty bribe. I chose not to take it. So why should less than 0.1% of the people who they claim took amnesty be paid since 2009? They have been paid, they have been trained, they have been given this at the expense of the generality of the people who also suffer the same effect of the deprivation of the people of the Niger Delta.
All right,
these are moral questions we must ask.
Let's wind down with politics. Are you interested in what's going on?
Yes, I am.
What do you think about how the campaign is going on and the candidates themselves?
The campaigns in many states, like Rivers State and some other states, Rivers State where I come from, the political space is stifled. The political space is being closed.
How?
Yes.
By who?
By the governor of Rivers State.
How?
Making illegal executive orders, impairing campaign, preventing political opponents from campaigning and access to space, not even public space, not even government space, traditional space, playgrounds, and so on.
Did he say they shouldn't campaign or they should just pay clean-up fee and then go ahead and use the place?
What all these years, who does he pay to? When his candidate is campaigning, you put up billboard, they go and lynch you, pull down the billboard.
Have they lynched anybody for putting up billboard?
It was viral in local government. People were beaten for daring to put up PDP campaign.
Police did not intervene?
Police? We have not heard anything from the police or the security. For daring to put articles, posters, people were beaten. The SDP candidate had been attacked in more than one place in Rivers State. But in the presidential election, I am with Tinubu because I saw what Tinubu did in Lagos and the legacy Tinubu left behind in Lagos. Tinubu was governor of Lagos State. He handed over to Fashola. Now, We can't talk about Atiku. Atiku has never actually handled executive power. He was a spare tire. He was vice president.
What about those who say, we want to try new things?
Excuse
me.
Not
what we've seen before.
Excuse me. New thing. Obi of Labour Party was a governor for 8 years, like Tinubu. Kwankwaso of NNPP was a governor of Kano State for 8 years. So we compare these three. We leave out Atiku because he did not have the same executive power. He did not exercise the same executive power that Tinubu, Kwankwaso, and Obi exercised. Tinubu left power. He gave power to Fashola. Now, can you compare Fashola of Lagos with Willie Obiano that Obi picked? Can you?
But
I'm coming. Can you compare the one that Kwankwaso picked in Kano that succeeded him? You cannot. Look, politics all over the world. Let us not say that Tinubu picked people. Tinubu have Lagos. What of in India? The Indian Congress Party. That one family has been dominating. What of in Pakistan?
But those were, they'll say, look,
the Botes, no, I'm coming.
It's about people's reality.
Excuse me now. The Bote. What of in the United States of America, where they say is the home of democracy, where Trump, one man that I think something is wrong with his head, is speaking candidates, is sponsoring candidates. If he doesn't endorse you in the Republican Party, you cannot win. So when we're talking as if we're in isolation. We are not in isolation. We look at the record. If you look at the candidates, Tinubu stands out. It's a success story in Lagos.
So
Ambode took over.
How about those who say, well, that may be the case.
Yes.
But they look at the political party because here it's parties that present the candidates. So he will still work within the same party, within the same structure. And they, from what they've seen, they don't think their economic life is any better. So they think, why should I continue in the same breath?
Excuse me. When you say individuals differ, individuals cannot be tied to political party. I am an Ijaw man, but I'm a Muslim. Majority of Ijaw people are Christian and other things. So can you say Ijaw people who believe in Egbezu, who believe in Akaso, who goes to church, because an infinitesimal number of Ijaw people who are Muslim. I'm just a Muslim.
But yes, when you now bring it at the national level,
yes,
with national
that is
politics.
what I am saying. In politics, you look at the individual. Individuals have their own traits and distinction. And when an individual comes, he comes with his this thing to come and bear on the policies of the party. There is nothing wrong with the manifesto of APC. There's nothing wrong with the manifesto of PDP. There's nothing wrong with the manifesto of Labour Party. I don't know of NNPP. But there's nothing wrong. You go there, very nice things are said. It will take an individual touch to be able to effect the desired needs of the people.
There's no guarantee that will happen, is there?
Because we have seen it in Lagos.
But there are people in Lagos who are not happy with what's going on.
Yes, all over the world. In the United States of America, there are people who are not happy. That's why Black Lives Matter came up. There are people in Qatar today who are talking about the policies of Qatar. There are people in United Arab Emirates that are talking about what's happening. But if you are as a visitor, you go to United Arab Emirates, you think you are in heaven. So it has to do with individual. Lagos has transformed from what it used to be, like a big ghetto, a junkyard, to a global center. And one of the biggest economy in the whole of Africa. Somebody kickstarted it. Somebody laid the foundation.
All right. We'll see how that plays out and see who wins the elections at the end of the day.
I pray that Tinubu will win.
But there's some information we'll have here. I think when they heard you say that Navy was involved, they're just trying to remind us that that's not actually correct, because they say the physicalization that had the Navy at the platform stopped in the 1980s. So the Navy is not involved in
It's not the platform. The Navy patrols.
Okay.
They patrol the territorial waters of Nigeria. They don't need to be only at the platform. The primary duty of the Navy is to protect the territorial frontiers.
Okay. All right. We do thank you for coming on. Alhaji Mujahid-Dokubo Asari is the former president of Ijaw Youth Council, leader, Niger Delta People's Salvation Front, and Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
And not many people remember that you're a lawyer.
No, I'm not a lawyer. I read law.
You read law.
Yes.
Not many people remember that because they only remember your recent history, as it were.
No problem.
But thank you for coming on.
Thank you.